So the World Baseball Classic could not have been a bigger success. I mean, from my outside view, I mean, besides for Mets fans, Jesus, that was a
Of course.
horrible injury to Edwin Diaz.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. And what I will say about that before we just really quick, because I don't want that to be the primary focus, only because I think something like that has been sort of used as a cudgel to minimize or diminish the World Baseball Classic.
Right.
Um, yes, as a Mets fan, am I upset that Edwin Diaz is out for the season? Yes, of
Yes.
course. It's terrible. I'm bereft that he is out for the season. It's a huge loss in terms of their roster, and he's like one of their, if not their best and most important player from a lot of perspectives on their pitching staff. Their defined iconic closer already. He was one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball last year. So yes, it's devastating. However, for me personally, I don't turn around and then be like therefore the World Baseball Classic is bad. Like it's bad because he got injured playing for his home country.
Not
And
even playing, jumping up and down
right,
in
like
celebration.
celebrating a huge win for his home country. Like if
He
any
was more likely to get injured in the car on the way to the World Baseball Classic
it's
than he was jumping with his teammates in celebration.
it's a complete freak accident. Like it's a
Yeah.
complete aberration. It is not like I'm not like upset that he got injured and is out for the season because he was at the World Baseball Classic, like celebrating with his countrymen. Like I think that's actually a really great thing, and I'm happy for them, and I'm happy that like you were that. I think is Puerto. I'm pretty sure he's
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Like Puerto Rico was able to have that moment. It was devastating. That's the collateral damage of it. But like I think some people were like, it's so stupid that like he was playing for the Baseball, but playing in the World Baseball Classic right before the season started. But it's like you can't anticipate that. And also, I don't think players should be precluded from playing in those things if they want to.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, first of all, that yes, it's insane if someone makes that case. Two, I mean, there were a few injuries, but not that many. I know Altuve hurt his finger,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
he was playing for Venezuela. But the moment that everyone should focus on is that Japan versus Team USA, Otani, mano a mano v Trout,
Yeah, like that,
teammates.
it's absolutely a legendary moment, like a historical sports moment.
Not ninth inning, game on the line. I mean, and like, and then Trout misses and Japan wins. It was just incredible.
An unbelievable sports, an indelible sports moment that can transcend so much context, transcend so many different borders and like and barriers to like anyone could get excited or like invested in the game
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not the biggest baseball fan. I thought that was, just complete hair on
Absolutely,
my
like
arm
goosebump
sticking up.
inducing stuff. Absolutely.
Exactly, and it's just the best two players in baseball who are also teammates
Who have
facing
never
off.
faced off because they've only been teammates with each other.
Exactly. I mean, and also all of just the pageantry and the hoopla that goes around it being for your countrymen. And part of the reason Team USA didn't end up winning is because there were a lot of pitchers like Verlander who just did not want to participate, and so they were a little bit short of the elite pitching talent that other American players could have provided for them. But either way, the reason that they have to do it in March is because baseball season is very long
Right, it's April through October, and sometimes even depending on scheduling,
into November.
early November.
Yeah, and so they also have to find agreeable weather, work
Right.
with people's off-season schedules. March, they're going to be a little bit more in fighting shape than they would be in December.
And this is
nursing
more
injuries, surgeries. Like,
I would also
I'm
argue
sorry.
I would also argue that this is someone in the YouTube chat, Zachariah Tollison, World Baseball Classic, bunch of greater than arrow spring training, and that's also another point that made me think like it's also, I would imagine, more competitive baseball.
Yeah,
than
I'm
spring
sorry, I don't
training.
care about spring training.
That's what that's the thing though.
I
Is
don't
like,
care.
It's spring. Of course, I'm sure that obviously they want to get some in-game reps and get warmed up. But this is competitive baseball. They're actually playing like other talented players from across the world, and not just playing exhibition games.
This is how you grow the game. This is how you grow games.
That was that was the big point that I wanted to emphasize too. Is that like from a sport and from a league that is like, in my opinion, in my view, based on the lack of of actual investment in winning by a majority of the teams in the MLB, leading to like 5 essentially super teams
Yeah.
that are the ones willing to just shell out endless amounts of money to make their teams competitive because other teams just won't do it. And 2, a team that is almost kind of allergic to kind of contributing
sport.
to any sort of iconography surrounding their best players. Mike Trout should be a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani should be a superstar. Like a person a la LeBron James, a la
Jeter. I mean, he's the last.
it-
He's the last one, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Derek Jeter,
They're
Alex
struggling.
Rodriguez.
They're struggling in this like post steroid, more pitching defensive era to market those kinds of players.
And-
but Otani is a freak. Like he
Absolutely.
needs to be
He's
advertised.
one of the most dynamic, unique, singular athletes to walk this earth. And somehow they're struggling to find people to care about that or to be excited about that. And I don't think that is not a player problem.
No.
That's a league problem. The players are there. You can't tell me that Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis Jr. or Mookie Betts or Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani aren't interesting. They are.
They are.
Like
Francisco Lindor is a
Francisco
ball
or
of
Lindor,
energy.
absolutely. There are personalities here.
Yes.
That should be. I don't need to say exploited in the sense of like. I more mean in the sense to attract people to want to watch baseball.
And the
this did
NHL
it.
has that problem too.
Absolutely,
But
it's both of them. It's hockey. I would say it's the NHL and the MLB that have it the worst.
yeah,
honestly.
they're the old boys club. But the thing baseball has in its favor is that it's just so culturally embedded in the United States.
Totally. It's
that
like it's so American.
It's
like you,
so, but it's reaching, it's broadening. It had broadened partly because of imperialism, but also because of now in this current climate, things like this. This is just how you get little kids in
excited to
different
watch
countries, but they might start playing.
Right.
Then they might be a first round pick, and that's how this stuff works. There should be way more international tournaments with these kinds of sports, and it should not just be the World Cup.
because the stakes, it's similar with the World Cup. It's like the stakes feel larger than just like winning a league game or winning a
Yes.
championship for a league. It's like you are like there is something kind of like intangible and like frankly geopolitical about like representing your country against other countries and like winning like or like these moments like they are heightened for like there is some inexplicable force that I think accompanies worldwide competition. It happens with the World Cup.
Yes.
It happens with the Olympics. It happens even with the Euro Cup.
It gets people invested immediately who wouldn't normally be inclined to, and that's how you get new eyeballs on your sport.
Absolutely.
Apparently,
Absolutely.
the ratings for the World Baseball Classic were really big in Asia, really big in
and that's
Latin
so
America.
important.
And that's great. This just, for any baseball fan that's saying, get rid of this because of these injuries, you are
Yeah.
a problem for the sport. There needs to be more of this. More.
Injury. Someone mentioned this in the YouTube chat as well. That like if they weren't here, they'd be at spring training, and Gavin Lux, who is what team is this guy on? Gavin Lux, who's on the Dodgers. He got injured. He sustained a significant injury in spring training.
Happens all the time.
It doesn't necessarily like it's not as if if Edwin Diaz wasn't playing in the World Baseball Classic, he could have been like Jabba Chamberlain years ago, the Yankees reliever. He tore his ACL or tore his meniscus or something playing on a trampoline with his kids. Like these things are flukes. They are not like it's not. It is not attributable to him playing and representing his country in the World Baseball Classic. It is not enough to justify U.S. players or MLB players not participating.
Right.
It's good, like you said. Beyond just being athletes, players are also ambassadors for their sport.
Yeah.
There's so much more to sports than just the chartered leagues that the pros play in.
Well,
It's
that's
also-
the thing. How much do you think the Major League Baseball worries about this being outside of its
Absolutely
its
not. Some of
realm?
the owners of like the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Colorado Rockies and other teams like that, the Arizona Diamondbacks are like, how can we winnow our budget down to a rotting husk and pay players $450,000 each so that we can win 62 games every year, while because but people just love sports so much, we can still make somewhere around, I don't know, $2 billion.
Yeah, right. Efficiency. That's what they call it,
Do you
right?
think we could cut the seats in half to save some money?
Piggyback rides into the stands, or laps. Everyone's has a lap. When you sit down, it's a lap. That means it's an extra seat.
Maybe at the gate, we could surgically implant cup holders in people's legs.
Yeah.
So we could remove them and get a tax write-off.
Everyone has to wear a helmet that they bring from home in order to get entry, and then we attach two different straws to the end. And there you go. That's your drinking beverage for the day.
And we're just not going to staff. And maybe
Save on cups.
And maybe we just won't staff a roster for some games, and we'll just do exhibition games with every patron of the game. So we just won't
Free
pay
labor.
Yeah, exactly. We just won't pay players anymore. Everyone just going to have an unpaid internship at the Arizona Diamondbacks game and play against each other.
And then it's shirts and skins, just to save money on jerseys.
Yeah, so no uniforms. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, BYOU, bring your own uniform. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying is like that. Like I joke, but it's like truly like as you're saying like these owners and these ownership groups for these baseball teams especially, it's kind of, there is obviously some mission creep in terms of how teams are operating in other sports, but these baseball some of these ownership groups for these baseball teams in certain markets just don't give a shit about the product.
No.
They don't care. They're not focused on winning whatsoever. They're not focused on even being competitive. There is value in being competitive even if you're not winning a World Series. It should not, just because you're not potentially a World Series contender, should not be an excuse for your team to just fucking suck every year.